Today we are going to look at how you can build your wealth like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is one of the most successful and respected investors and businessmen in this generation. It's worth $129 billion. And we are going to look at what strategies we can copy or what plans we can make, which he did make in order to become this wealthy. Warren Buffett did not become this wealthy by having complex systems or having sophisticated investments and doing quick get rich system or schemes. He did this by simple investments, real estate planning, disciplined habits, and having good financial strategies and planning. And we are going to look at 4 things we can copy or 4 characteristics we can imitate from Warren Buffett. And number one is living below your means. Warren Buffett in 1958 purchased a house in Omaha, then worth $31,500 in 1958, and that's where he still lives today. You could, be living a very extravagant lifestyle, but he chose to live a modest life, and this is one basic principle you can practice also at home and also as an average person if you want to get there and be among the top 1% like Warren Buffett. The mechanism is simple: spend less than you earn per month. If you spend less than you earn per month, your income will exceed your expenses, and this will give you control of your financial future instead of being controlled by it. Financial freedom is not gained by spending almost as much as your income or as much as your paycheck. Financial freedom is gained by creating a good distance between your income and your expenses. Once you do that, you are saving money, and once you are saving money, you can start investing in your savings, which can generate profits. Living below your means is the cornerstone of building wealth. And some people, they don't live below their means when there's income inflation. When there is raise in their income or raise in their paycheck or salary, they now tend to live a more expensive lifestyle. They now go and move to a more expensive apartment. Some try and have a vacation because of the raise in their income or in their salary. But like I said earlier, Warren Buffett still lives in that Omaha house that I purchased $31,500 in 1958. So one thing researchers have known is that 20% of those who earn more than $150,000, they still live paycheck to paycheck. So this means that having a raise in your income does not really give you financial security. Financial security comes through discipline, financial discipline, through investment, and through financial planning and good financial strategies. So you can copy from Warren Buffett by spending less than you earn, and which could make you start saving money. And when you start saving money, you can invest, make investment in your savings, which can start growing wealth. Number two characteristics you can copy from Warren Buffett is investing in business you know. Warren Buffett believed in the circle of competence. He said, I'm paraphrasing, not the exact quote, but the meaning of the quote, he said, his strength lies in the circle of competence. And he said, it's not just the size of the knowledge area, but knowing its boundaries. Warren Buffett invests in business that he knows or he understands, or products, invest in businesses that he uses their products and services. Warren Buffett has investment in Coca-Cola, and he takes Coca-Cola. He has investment in American Express and so many others. There's an economist that gave an advice, said if you go and take a cup of coffee from Starbucks, and if it tastes very good and you like it, he said, then invest in Starbucks. So that is what Warren Buffett methodology was all about. Investing in businesses he likes, and in businesses you understand that businesses use their products. This gave him strength and confidence in investments he has in different companies. So it's risky if you invest in a business, you don't use their product, you don't use their services, and you don't even know anything about it. Shaquille O'Neal has investment in, I think, Ring, that software that people use as a camera to check those who are coming into their houses. So when he started using it, they're like, wow, this thing is good. So he called the owners of the company that he wants to invest in it. And the investment is great. They are very popular now. So it's a method of people investing in businesses they like, investing in businesses they understand. So Warren Buffett said, he invests in businesses that he knows their customer behavior, their business model, and their consumer strength. So this is why you invest in businesses you know. Then it's risky to invest in businesses you don't know. Like during the internet bubble, the .com bubble during the 90s, many people invested in internet. Well, Buffett did not, because he didn't understand the sustainability, and he didn't understand the business. Not that some of it were bad, it's just that he didn't understand it. That was not his knowledge area. And so when many of those .com bubbles started crashing, it didn't affect him, and it didn't affect his business portfolio. So if you don't understand the sustainability of a particular business, you don't invest. It's a risk. Yes, some very few come out successful taking risks, but it's not a consensus for you to make those kind of decisions. Any business you don't know how they generate revenue, you don't know how they started, there's ambiguity in how they generated their capital, do not invest. Then, like one of Warren Buffett's business associates, Charlie Munger, he said, know your own, I'm paraphrasing, not the exact quote, know your own area of aptitude. He said, if you invest, if you play games in other people's area of aptitude, which you don't have in that particular area, said you are going to lose. That's Shalimunga. So that's why you invest in businesses that you know. Some people, why they take risky decisions and invest in businesses in you don't know, they don't know. They have this fear of missing out. Maybe there's a trend and everybody are flocking in on that business trend. Because of fear of missing out, yeah, every quarter of the year they are investing in businesses they don't know about because of the fear of missing out, fear of, what if this thing becomes a big, what if this thing really blows up and becomes big and, becomes very a great business venture. So they don't know much about the business because of the fear of missing out. They invest in so many business they don't know, and they sometimes fall at the risk of losing and even becoming in debt. So invest in businesses, Then number three thing uh, method or philosophy that you can apply in building wealth is avoid debts and pay debts if you have debts. One of Warren Buffett's advice is if you have money, pay off your debt immediately. A lady met Warren Buffett and asked Warren Buffett a question. I have extra cash. What do I do with it? And Warren Buffett asked her, do you have credit card debt? And she said yes. Warren Buffett said, pay it off immediately. And she told Warren Buffett that she has 80% APR. And Warren Buffett said that the best investment she can do at that moment is to pay off the 18% APR. And Warren Buffett also said that it also sees debt in the eyes of investment, that debt is like a bad investment. It costs you money rather than you generating returns. So it's a bad investment because the high debt interest rate sometimes exceed that of 20%, and this is higher than even the SP 500 average APY, which is 10.7%. So Buffett said that he does not know how to generate that kind of returns. That is the high interest rate. He doesn't know how to generate 18%. That if he can generate that kind of returns in terms of profits, he will be very happy. So it's one thing, debt is one thing that drains wealth potential, building your wealth. So it's something you should try and avoid. And Warren Buffett said if you have debt, then you pay it off immediately. So things you can do to eliminate your debt. Number one is refinance and consolidate in lowering interest rates. Then another thing you do is number two, you avoid future debts. You avoid future debt by creating an emergency fund. If you are listening, please hit and subscribe and press like and write a good comment. What I'm saying is that the earlier I have a video in this YouTube, in this my channel, that the video is how to manage your wealth. I mentioned it in that video that you create an emergency fund, an account whereby you remove money from your income, some part of it, I said 20% or 15%, I said, and you store it in case of emergency and unexpected expenses come, you remove money from that emergency fund and use it for that expenses. So you create an emergency fund to counter any expected, unexpected expenses and to avoid unnecessary debt. Then the last, you from your income, you look at the percentage. You can say 15%. So from that 15%, you start paying off your debt every month. 50% of my income will be for paying my debt. Since you are in debt, you try and pay it off immediately. And one thing about debt is that yes, the interest rate is there, but it's compounded with time. The impact compound with time because of compound interest, and because of compound interest, a debt that was small can grow substantially. So avoid debt at all costs. If necessary, avoid debt. But if you are in debt, start paying off your debt immediately. So the last characteristics or last thing you can do, you can copy from Warren Buffett in order to build your wealth is make your money work for you. Like I said, hit and subscribe on this YouTube channel because I did the earlier video on this kind of particular topic, making your money work for you. Warren Buffett said, if your money can't work for you in your sleep, you are going to die while working, meaning you're going to keep working even when when you're a senior citizen. Even when you're old, you keep on working because you have not been able to make money work for you. So he said we should, as the average man should not keep his money in a normal savings account. I should look for high yielding savings account. And a high yielding savings account compared to the average account, high yielding savings account can give you 4.5% rather than 0.42% from the average account. And also it says you should invest in stocks. Investment in stocks like XP 500. This can give you an APY of 10% every year, and which is good. It grow your wealth instead of your wealth, instead of your savings losing purchasing power. You can start growing your wealth. Also look for a passive income whereby you are not directly involved 24 hours, whereby you can be working on your day job and your money is working for you. You are making money even while you are sleeping or while you are at a vacation. So he also said, manage your money by investing in index funds. As I said earlier, what Warren Buffett does is, I said 90% of his money is an index fund. You can put 90% of your money in SP 500 index fund and say 10% of your money in short government bonds. And doing this, number one, you have a lower risk than individual stocks because your money is spread around hundreds of companies, and it has historically strong. The SP 500 historically is strong, and also it brings a annual return of 10% APY. So we have come to the end of this video. Please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.